Right, lads, we need to talk about how you break down low block defenses in FC26. I've seen loads of chat and had loads of questions on how to actually break people down this year. And I think a lot of it comes down to analysing what type of opponent is in front of you. Is the person just controlling their CDMs? If so, you've got loads of tools to your to hands. You can use technical dribbling, you can use quick passing. But if you're playing someone that's actually very, very good at the game, how are you guys breaking down low block defenses?
I submit them with a power of how much patience can you possibly have when I'm knocking this ball about from the right to the left over and over, looking for a little bit of a gap. And then, to be honest, the drilled pass, absolutely firing one to one of my strikers' feet, but going back to midfield and back to strikers' feet. I try and move their defence around as much as possible. I feel like if I don't even know whether I'm going to go to the wing and then back central, then they can't possibly read. It's all about being patient and how and when you lose the ball. What they're waiting for is that mistake in midfield to pounce and counter-attack against you. So it's choosing those moments and where on the pitch you're going to be safe and where on the pitch that you're going to take a few risks. And if you get that balance right, then eventually you'll get chances without giving away counter-attacking opportunities.
Yeah, the low block is a real controversial one with the FIFA community, isn't it? Because everybody seems to think everybody's running a low block, forgetting sometimes your own tactics will make their AI sit deep, which is, a thing to look at as well when you're coming up against a low block. Like both of you have said so far, is everything's correct, but you also have to remember sometimes it is your tactics that are making their fullback sit back a little bit deeper, or you're not transitioning enough quickly with your own tactics to get into that space. But the best thing to do is just play the patience game. Just literally pass it around in that midfield area. They're going to get, no one wants to draw. I can't stress this enough. Nobody wants to draw. Everybody wants to win. So they're going to get annoyed. They're going to get frustrated. And then all of a sudden they're going to drag someone out. Is like Alex said, is whether to know where to take that risk and where is the risk versus reward. So essentially, using the ping pass into the striker, it immediately causes panic if you get the ball there because, oh my God, I've got my centre mid over there. If you notice they're going to do that, you may take you a couple of times, you might not get it right the first time and you might lose the ball. Next time you attack, doing the same thing, get the space, ping it into that striker and you're like, okay, he's going to drag over his centre mid every time. Play it back out to where that centre mid is, you've got the space. He's then going to drag somebody out. People do things in patterns all the time, so recognising those patterns are perfect.
What you did say, by the way, was really a really key point about your own tactics and instructions can contribute to a low block. If you've got both wide players and inside forward, well, if they're going to go narrow, where do you think the opposition fullbacks are going to go? Of course, they're going to follow them and go narrow. If you go wide, then it spreads them wide as well. There's so many people that think the best way to score is by getting as many players narrow as quickly as possible, because that was the old way of doing it.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, you're definitely right. You need to think about where your own players are going to go, because that's going to attract the defenders.
I think the patience game is super important when breaking it down, because when you're playing someone that you can see they're just controlling the CDMs, doing that low block, because everyone thinks they're playing a low block, but you know when you're playing someone that is their whole game to sit deep, and then they're always the same guys that hit you on the counter. They're in the 4-2-3-1. They're looking to turn the ball over and quickly spread the ball wide and just hit you on the counter attack, just kind of suck you in. Whereas a lot of the time they're itching to get that ball back. They're itching to try and dive in. So you just got to try and bait some tackles. And I think losing the ball in the right areas against these people is key. Not losing it in the center of the pitch, because that's where they're able to ping out to their wingers. Losing it in the wide areas or towards the byline where you're going to win yourself corners is the smart play. And with these guys with the low block, it's often there's two CDMs, so the space for you to attack is always in the wide areas. So if you're finding your inside forwards are just getting, they're always in the middle, they're always in that congested area, you can change one of them to winger, and that will really help you use that wide space and just attack their fullback, get to the byline, and you've got loads of options then. You can recycle it back, and then you've got the pass to the top of the box where you can then fizz it into your striker. You've got the byline, which you can attack and flip it to the back post, or do a cut back, or do something like a player lock, and you'll get your chances that way. It's just understanding where the weak points in your own opponent's defense is, and just exploiting that.
I think it's a lot of misconceptions when we're saying like you gotta be patient. That means you're not really sprinting with the ball in the final third.
Yeah.
You're more left stick dribbling, and then you're doing the controlled sprint. But it's also you're moving the ball with a purpose. There's no point just moving it from left to right, left to right, left
Aimlessly,
to right.
right.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of like I'm going to move it, but then I'm going to go back that way. So as soon as I've moved one player out of position, so they've moved their defensive mid a little bit too wide. Right, that's the point. That's the way in. That's the point of attack. That's the area of weakness. And it's like anything. It's kind of like you're moving the ball to try and bait a player out of position, baiting a fullback out of position, baiting a centre. And a lot of these players do not want to control their centre backs. So make them control their centre backs by getting the ball and making them defend there. That's what we mean by being patient. Doesn't mean like, oh, now we're going to effectively pass the ball for 25 minutes in our back line. No, we're just kind of looking for those bit of baits. The biggest thing that I would say, do not go behind first.
Yeah.
If you can score, it's like my worst thing, because when I notice it on my champs funds, if I go down early to one of these teams, that's where I get my loss.
You're
because
playing to their old tactic, right? It's like a smash and grab, essentially. It feels like, right?
This is effectively what's happened against Arne Slot's Liverpool in real life. I don't know. I don't care. You don't like it. I know, but if Liverpool,
no one cares about Liverpool, mate. Just you.
But if Liverpool aren't going 1-0 behind in the first 5 minutes of every game, the whole game changes. But if you go 1-0 down, then of course they can set up in a low block for the next 85 minutes. The same principles in FC.
You give them something to hold on to.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want. Remember as well, this game it's never been easier to hold on to the ball. So if you go 1-0 up, I force it. Like, just make them come and get you. The other day, I was playing someone and they were playing this exact tactic, sit back, try and nail me on the counter. And it was like 20 minutes ago. I was like, well, I don't need to attack you, mate. I just put my foot on the ball. And he was just like shimmying from left to right with his DM.
Wait,
like,
you gotta go. Wait.
I was like, well, you've got to come to me. So you've got to make the first move. Otherwise, I'll take the win. I'll just stand you and you'll lose. You've got to do something other than just sit in the back. These guys are really easy as well to frustrate. Like these are the guys, the smash controllers up, the guys that
blame the game.
Yeah. So you've got to lean into that. You've just got to play. They're playing a really frustrating way, and you've got to do it as well. You don't need to just give in to this basketball match that they want, where you turn the ball over and they just yeet the ball forward and then they score on the counter and then they hit you with the griddy or the worm or something like that. Then
I think the biggest mistake people do against a low block as well is, say you are trying to work some space and you've got like a 50% chance of playing this pass into the striker. You just force it and you're like, I'm going to play that ball in there. And if you don't get the pass off, you're like, see, this is a low block. Every time you're then convincing yourself that there's no way of beating it. I've done it loads of times. I've forced the pass and gone, why have I done that? Like, I knew I couldn't play it, but I did it anyway. But recognizing that's so important, because if you keep forcing that pass, all you're doing is just frustrating yourself and going, well, this low block is just impossible to beat. And it really isn't the case. There is multiple ways to beat it, like we've mentioned in this video already.
I think I'm going to set Alex off for the next 20 minutes now. One of the best things you can do is put your striker on false 9 attack against a low block.
There's some serious secret glazing going on now. Conversations I'm
no,
not part of.
But I think it's because since I've been using the 4-4-5-1. It's just because
4-4-5-1.
I've got extra numbers.
I'm not surprised.
We're not talking about our hidden secrets yet. What's this about?
I play with extra 10 players on the pitch.
I rate that. That's how you beat the low block. But
it's honestly the problem with advanced forward. It's great when you're playing people of if you're playing like Division 1 elite or wherever, you're often playing people that actually want to play the game and not sit too deep. So having the advanced forward is fine, but once you're trying to get some passes in and actually break people down, having that false 9 that steps away from their back line as a passing option is so helpful. Whereas on advanced forward, they can sometimes just hide by the centre back and make it really easy to stop.
Telling you, false 9, you get that little bit of separation from the defenders.
I'm starting to enjoy it as well, which just sucks. I hate it. I hate myself for enjoying it.
I mean, I'm not enjoying this at all. I have no idea what's just happened out of nowhere.
What I will say is, I think I am in the minority, but I don't care. I'm absolutely right on this statement. The AI is not strong. I don't care what anyone says. The AI is not strong. In previous years, the AI would track runners, would actively mark players. And if your players moved into a bit of space, you'd just be tracked all the time. If you actually look at the AI, and especially the defenders, if you get a player that moves in between that centre-back and right-back position, for example, They are absolutely free. They don't there's a little bit of movement. Of course, there's some AI involvement, but this is a weak AI kind of way. I'm glad that people are saying that AI is strong because it means that it's not going to get buffed. It's actually incredibly weak. What makes it what makes it strong is because people who are running around with their CDMs put their CDM in the back line. That's what is making the AI seem strong, but it's not the AI that's strong. It's moving a CDM into the back line that's strong.
You just look at technical dribbling. If someone doesn't touch their centre back,
just breeze past.
You just cut through them. And that's testament to how weak I would say the AI is. So weak.
The AI is super weak. So keep on saying it's strong, everybody, on Twitter, on YouTube. Just keep on powering. AI is too overpowered. AI is too overpowered, because trust me, it really isn't. And once you really see that and you start attacking players who they're not controlling, you realise just how bad they are. Unless it's in those kind of games where you're not destined to win. So the opposite of the low block is counterattacking. So we talked about different ways you can beat the low block, and we did a whole video all about the tech dribble, and everything in the tech dribble video absolutely relates to what we talked about the low block. But counterattacking, what are your secret sources to getting the perfect counterattack?
I love having a player on winger, one of my wide players on winger, because they just sit on that touchline. You're able to just precision pass it across the pitch, and you're able to just kind of go from there. It just creates you so much space. I love winger for the counter.
What about the broken technique you've been using the first time?
First time through ball. See, that's better when they...
I was waiting for that to come. He didn't say it, and I was like, all right.
It was really popular last year, wasn't it?
The sauce to himself.
Yeah, just keep it
it's
really,
like KFC's
really quiet.
hidden spices and herbs you don't know of, Aaron. It's just you start
calling me the Colonel now.
No, that's not latching on.
Come on, Colonel, tell us.
You're on my secret spices. Right, composure, lads. The first time passes are super strong this year as well. On the halfway line, if you've got a cam, it's important to have something like long ball or incisive. But if you can trigger the run of your striker and then time as they're meeting their back line, hitting the over the top through ball, or if there's a gap between the centre backs, you can fizz the through ball through. It's really, really effective this year, as well as because centre backs don't turn as quick as they did in previous years. You just through, and that's why players like Pina, when you do it, even though she's only got 79 pace, because the centre backs turn so slowly, you'd never get caught. You never get caught. You get a free one-on-one, and if you've got someone with low driven or finesse, it's easy from that point.
I'm going to set you a challenge where you're not allowed to use a single Barcelona player or previous Barcelona player for a week. I'm interested to see who you talk about then.
I'm using my glitched Pele, Evo, and Cam.
There you go. Of course. It's very similar to the first time over the top ball from last year, where you send one player on a run, you then ping it into the other attacker, who then does a chip through ball over the top, right? Used to be super broken last year. Is a little bit more inconsistent this year. But if you do it manually, it works exactly the same, and any player can do it, whether they got long ball or not. So again, let's say you're running a 4-3-3. You've got your right winger running from the counter-attack, running to get across the halfway line. You're controlling the centre mid. You ping the ball into the striker. As that ball is travelling to your striker, you hold down RB or R1 or RB, hold down X or square, so the little line comes up to where you put it. Well, I ran out of breath there, where you're putting it, and that's where the ball's going to land every single time. So if you put that into the direction that attacker's running, the AI doesn't understand. The AI have no idea what's going on. It's like, what the hell? What's that? No, it's the ball, and then your striker controls it perfectly every time. It is a little bit hard to get used to because you've got to manually do it, right? But it still works. Like I was doing it with Gyökeres. He should be able to do that. He's not looking. The goal's behind him, and he's got like a little line going over, and he just flicks it like that. It's gone, and you're through. Pretty much every single time. That's a good way to counter if someone's running against a 4-5-1, for example, crowded midfield. Like Aaron said, another one is the first time through ball, where you send someone on a run, you ping it into someone and immediately press wild triangle, and it seems to do really well. They run onto it perfectly, I've noticed.
See, I'm a big fan of, by the way, you need to now not use any Arsenal players. If you're going to set the challenge for... Yeah,
that's fine. I've got a second account, mate. No worries for me. That's my meta team. That's my rat team.
He spent 100k on that Zubimendi. Let him use it.
Oh, no, don't mention the Zubimendi SPC.
He's not even in the team anymore. He's deep depths in my club somewhere. No, I hate Zubimendi can go off.
See, I'm not sure whether this is just ingrained with me of Jurgen Klopp, but for me, counterattacks don't begin in my own half. My counterattacks start by immense pressure, as much pressure as possible on the opposition in their half, and gung-ho. Like, there's nothing subtle about the way that I defend in their my own half, to be fair, as well. But if I can win the ball 30 yards out, that starts my counter press and that starts my counter attack. It's much easier to score when you're 30 yards away from goal than when you're 80 yards away from goal. So my whole premise is kind of like winning the ball as high as possible. And then if you can, it really unsettles, especially if you're playing against players that have got attacking roles. When they get the ball and they start trying to counter attack against you, they've got their players flooding forward. So if you can win the ball high up the pitch consistently and they've got players flooding the other way, life becomes very easy. A lot of my goals are scored from the opposition not being able to defend because of that counter press, and then it's just bang, 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 goal. It's what I like to do, and not many people are hyper aggressive that high up the pitch. They want to play it safe, but you've got 80 yards before they've got to your goal. Play safer, deeper. That's my mentality, and yeah. You've all seen me defend, so I'm not even going to say anymore because the defending is sometimes atrocious.
That's how you can keep this high counter-attack press, because of how you defend. You're like, right, centre back, get in there now. Win that ball.
You're that handsy flick high line.
Well, people don't expect it. I mean, it's if you know you're not a good defender, then why are you defending a lot of the time in and around your box? Go and try and win the ball. If you're going to be conceding anyway, you might as well try and have that reward higher up the pitch.
That's a very fair point, though, isn't it? If you really suck at defending your own box, you may as well just defend high and try and limit it.
I can't wait for your defender tip video. It's going to bang on in
This
there.
is how not to
Get
defend
the ball in
an
their arse and just run
S.
them. Just keep running.
On
It works.
on the topic of counter-attack, I saw something absolutely just disgusting on a Team Hullet video today.
Cover
Your
your ears.
goalkeeper's recovered the ball. So you've caught the ball, so you've caught it off a corner. Or if they've just taken a shot and you've caught it, you roll it out to your centre back, you turn to your left back, you trigger the run so they start running down the line. You pass it to your other fullback on the other side and do full powered X soon as your fullback that's gone up the pitch becomes in line with it, just before they become in line with their back line, and it completely splits their defence. It's absolutely ridiculous. I've been smashing the passes with Koundé and it still works.
That's doing that on Champs this weekend.
But the way
and then Calafiori up with his long hair, he's gone, I'm up for him, I'm going for it.
Yeah, probably don't want to run up the pitch with Calafiori, but if you're
I
running someone like Theo Hernandez,
I got Scott then doing a 70-yard pinger straight to his feet. It's lovely.
Yeah, but it feels almost like glitched because I feel like
glitched. What do you mean? It feels glitched.
I feel like I shouldn't be able to do a 70-yard directional every time, but I can.
Big Steven Gerrard pass with Jules Koundé.
It doesn't sound broken to me.
It could be glitched.
This might be an exploit, lads. I'm not too sure though. But you do full power. If you're trying to do it in game, your fullback, don't be too afraid. You literally power it all the way up, and you just no other input. Just hold X and just send it as they're meeting with their back line. You'll either get the chance to knock the ball down, but a lot of the time you can just control the ball and pass the ball inside like you can or your midfielders, and you've pretty much cut out their entire midfield.
Proud yourself, mate. Proud yourself for that one.
Now I understand why he never streams his game.
Yeah.
It's just all the comments would be like,
I'm just a horrible human being.
I bet you actually gritty in your room while you do it.
The Team Hullet channel's my Bible. I see a new video, I'm like, oh, notifications on my lunch break, learning it all. I got my pen and paper out.
You're going to take down the Messi poster behind and just have Team Hullet's logo.
Yeah, and next to Claudia Pina up there. So,
all right, on a serious note then, I'm not sure if we want to say this one now with what I've just said, but we've all had those games where either it's a tight game and you bring out that one thing that's your go-to way of, like, when you desperately need a goal, is a bit of a hidden gem that works for you. We've heard from Aaron the most despicable thing known to man, but I wonder what the hidden secrets of getting that equaliser last-minute goal, what do you do to lock in and get that decisive goal if necessary?
I'm about to lose a few subs here, so brace yourselves. I've just figured this out in the last couple of days, and I'm scared that Hullet's going to drop a video and Aaron's going to be like, oh, I didn't know this, so listen up, Aaron, all right? I want you to listen carefully here. So get yourself a corner at any means necessary.
Oh, Arsenal fan. Yep, Arsenal badge checks out in the
past
back.
and present, you've got to run, you've got to keep it as real as possible. Pull the second man over so you go short, play the simple pass, wait for the person who took the corner to run to the edge of the box, play it to them, turn back round to face the goal again. So they're running towards your half, turn back on the edge of the box, 3 bars of power, goes to the back post, keeper doesn't come out, defenders don't win it. You got an open header every single time.
You've
It
seen
works
this
every
route-
single time. Every single time.
You've seen this routine with Gabriel and Mikel Arteta's Arsenal.
Loving it,
I'm
mate.
sure.
Sounds like I need to assign Isaac Torre to the back post.
You know, I was winning headers with Scott at the back post because the AI doesn't even jump; it just leaves it. It doesn't know. It doesn't understand where it's going.
Brilliant.
So there you are.
That's not what my intended segment for this part was. I was going to
Sorry,
say,
I
Doing the
like to
game
bring on.
with
My other one is I like to bring Pina off the bench and just try and cloud driven it as much as possible.
Eddie hidden gems. So I got this card that's almost discard value, and it named Claudia Pina.
I don't know if you had it.
I don't. Yeah.
I finally packed her when she was like 11k, and I was like, great, where was that pack when she was 80k, whatever she
Welcome
was?
to the club, mate.
Yeah.
People dropping Mbappe for her
I know,
in the
it's
striker
mad.
position is absolutely insane. She is the cheat code.
So I'm going to bring it back to kind of like how I intended this segment to go. And
We must have misunderstood, Aaron.
yeah, but I was going to say my little hidden secret is a lot of people that I play against, or what I see when people send their gameplay footage to me, is when the ball gets to the striker, for a lot of people, that's when the passing stops. Like they get the ball to the striker and think, right, now it's time that I just go and take on this whole line of defence. Where actually, what I really like, if you've got two centre mids, this works really nicely. You go from one centre mid to the striker's feet, go straight back to the other centre mid, and then you play another pass to that other centre mid, and then you can run straight through. So it's kind of like a little bit of a triangle, but only with 3 dots connected to it. So you go from centre mid, striker, other centre mid, back to the centre mid, and then you've normally, because they've normally dragged someone out because they go to the striker and they don't normally switch to the other centre mid quick enough. So then they move to that player and it creates space for the other centre mid just to literally control sprint through. So that's kind of like my go-to little triangle passing move. That is not a broken mechanic. That is just smart football. Aaron, no, I don't want to hear it. Go on.
I've had a fun one that I've been doing recently. So if I'm losing late on, I'll trigger the run of my Isaac Torre,
German ball.
and I'll pass out to the fullback, and I'll pump the ball towards him, because I don't know if you found, if you win that first flick on in midfield, the entire game opens up. So because he's got aerial and he's 6'9", you flick it into him and you're able to just kind of knock the ball out to like Ansu will be on the wide area, and you'll have that kind of overload then. So it takes their DM or one of their centre backs out of the game, and you're able to just kind of go from there. It's just a good way to progress the ball fast. If your goalkeeper catches it and it's like you've got 2 minutes of added time, or if it's just about to tick into the 1 minute of added time, it's a good way to get the ball into their half and generate one last attack.
To be fair, that's much better than your whatever the fullback stuff was before. With the
Wait.
goalkeeper,
So it's called out for having a call.
No.
The section
This
is
doesn't
about
sound like Arsenal press, does it? What
the section is about my secrets, things I do.
Sorry,
No,
you're right. I apologise.
no, I put aerial fortress on him as well because he didn't need much.
If you get the step ladder out as well when the ball goes through
Honestly,
to
yeah.
5'9".
I just laugh at him in because he's just like, he stood next to someone like a Van Dijk and he makes Van Dijk look tiny. He's just a freak of nature. But having someone that has an aerial presence in your team is just, I think, is so important, especially off corners. They're like penalties if you get them right. If you get that flick into the back post, it's insane.
I don't know, I've been using Crouch and he's got all the aerial players styles you need, and I don't think he's won a single header for me because he's like a twig. Can't win anything.
Skill issue that is, mate.
Weight is important though, isn't it? I feel like when it comes to those like physical duels in this game, it's like not talked about enough, the weight that you play. That is how you break down low defenses, how to start a counter attack, and a couple of nuggets of our own things to beat people or cheese people, whatever you want to call it. This channel is new, so if you would please drop a sub and a like on this, and leave in the comments what tactics you're using, as well as any cheesy tactics you're using to break your opponents down. I will catch you in another